You can say the pickle on the gherkin. I thought that was the...
We seem to have lost all semblance of anything in this show. We will have the travel news after Lewis Capaldi messages.
On Radio 2.
Coming up this afternoon.
This is Lewis Capaldi here, and apparently I'm Scott Mills' official spokesperson, so I'm here to announce... This is Scotland's sexiest man alive. That is not self-proclaimed. That is everyone got together and we agreed. And I'm coming to see my good friend Scott Mills.
Scott Mills with Lewis Capaldi.
This afternoon from 2 on Radio 2.
Listen live on BBC Sounds, you lucky, lucky people.
Looking forward to that. They are still arguing about the pickle on the gherkin and the vinegar on the pickle and the...
I was being a bit pedantic, wasn't
You
I,
were
Sarah?
there, Jules, but
Sorry about that.
I think Dan has accepted that.
It's all about clarity. I fully take it on the chin.
You say, you put the vinegar on my pickle isn't as interesting as you put the vinegar on my gherkin.
Yeah, gherkin works.
Okay, I'm glad we've cleared that up.
Yeah.
Jules
Sticking with
has the
gherkin.
travel.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to do this now. All right.
Oh, we're doing it.
Yeah. Scotland and Aberdeenshire. Now, the A93 is blocked in both directions in Banchory at the Stonehaven turnoff. That's because of a bus fire. North Lanarkshire, M80, the northbound exit slip is closed after the vehicle fire at Junction 4. That's Westfield, so it's been closed all morning. England, Norfolk and Swaffham. Now, the A47 is partly blocked westbound. They're shifting a broken down vehicle at the Norwich Road junction. Busy one coming into London on the west side, so it's the A40 into the roadworks at the Target roundabout. Other side of town, the A11 Whitechapel High Street closed northbound from Commercial Street to the A13 Commercial Road. That's causing a queue. Got a breakdown for the M4, one lane out for recovery eastbound after Reading at junction 11. An accident for the M3. Now, one lane's out northbound 10 to 9, which is Winchester through to Winnall. And then for Our, the A36 Salisbury Road is closed with a fuel spillage from the Calmore junction to Calmore. Finally, East Sussex and Saltdean. There are some sheep, a flock of sheep, wandering along the South Coast Road, the A259. So until they're rounded up, do watch out both ways at the Hamsey Road junction. The forest rangers are out. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
It's
Jules,
all good though. Apart from
there
that.
we go. Stanley, again, fascinated by Jules there with the travel. I think we've covered it all today.
I think we have.
Haven't we? We've had pickles.
Gherkins.
Dan Walker is pickled. We've had cocktails. There's been tangoing. You must see Stanley Tucci in Citadel. It's on Amazon Prime Video from Friday the 28th of April. I realise I'm going to have to wait now for the next episodes.
Yes,
I'm left on that cliffhanger. It's fabulous. An evening with Stanley Tucci is happening at the Royal Albert Hall the day after, on Saturday the 29th of April.
Yes,
we
yes.
might talk to you about playing the organ in the Royal Albert Hall at some point.
Okay, sure.
Stanley.
Sure,
yes,
of course.
because it's rather magnificent. Dan Walker, we adore you. Host of Vanished, the hunt for Britain's missing people continues on Channel 5 every Thursday night at 9. You can see him on the news as well at 5 on 5.
I'm on tonight,
You're on
actually.
tonight,
Yeah.
are you? No more Negronis for you. And of course, you can catch up on My 5, which I actually downloaded on my phone last night.
Oh, look at you.
Dan, lovely to see you.
It's been a pleasure. Stanley,
Yes.
thank you very much. I'm sorry for all the things that I said.
No, you said wonderful things.
Okay.
You did.
I think
Really
this-
nice to meet you.
Was that invitation still open to come round and...
No.
No.
I was just about to say the beginning of a beautiful bromance, but sadly not. And that they never saw each other again. Stanley, very quickly, John in Portsmouth says, any plans for any more food programmes? Searching for Italy.
Yes, that's what we're hoping. We're talking now to different companies, so my hope is we'll start filming some next year.
Okay, fantastic. Stanley Tucci, Dan Walker, thank you.
Thank you.
Friday. Oh, Prod Squad, stay away from the Negronis. This is Radio 2 on the BBC Sounds app, on your smart speaker and on 88 to 91 FM.
BBC News at just after 9. This is Tina Dahealy. A 21-year-old American National Guardsman is due in court in Boston today in connection with the largest leak of classified documents in recent years. Jack Teixeira was arrested at his home in Massachusetts yesterday. He was part of an online chat group where the files were shared, the publishing of sensitive documents about the war in Ukraine and information about America's allies has caused embarrassment and concern. The former US ambassador to Iraq, Jim Jeffrey, says he would like to see security improved.
He was part of an intelligence wing of the Air Force, and if he had the clearances, and he did, he would have access to it. But frankly, there is not enough control over classified documentation, and it has gotten much looser over the last 50 years since I have been either in the military or the State Department.
Councils in England are warning that election staff may not be able to cope with changes to the way local elections are being run next month. People will need to bring ID, such as a passport or driving licence, to be able to cast their vote. People without these documents will have to apply for a voter authority certificate by the 25th of April. Craig Westwood from the Electoral Commission says a rise in applications is expected in the coming days.
So what we know is that voters respond late and up to the deadline in things that they need to do around elections. So for voter registration, which has obviously been in place for years, and the deadline is 3 days away, we always see a very significant spike as we reach the days leading up to the deadline.
The Royal College of Nursing is expected to say later whether its members in England have backed a pay offer from the government, which could end strike action. Junior doctors in England are taking part in the final full day of their 96-hour walkout today in their separate pay dispute. Dermatologists say life-changing allergies are being triggered by some gel nail polishes. Chemicals can leach into the skin, causing adverse reactions. People can then no longer have some procedures, such as dental work, cataract removal and joint replacement, which use similar compounds. Lisa Prince worked as a nail technician when she started getting symptoms.
Giving me the itchiness on my skin. I was getting, the breakages and the blemishes on my face. I was getting problems breathing. So they've said that because I've been exposed to them now so much, I've been told to stop being a nail tech.
Fire crews have rescued 14 people, including 2 children, from a 4-storey building in Lewisham in South London. 8 fire engines attended in the early hours of the morning. A huge hand-drawn plan of the cross-section of the Titanic is going up for auction. The 33-foot-long document formed part of the 36-day-long inquiry into the sinking of the luxury liner and was constantly referred to by witnesses. Today's weather, a day of sunshine and showers, with increasing sun in the southwest later. That's the BBC News at 9:04.
BBC Radio 2.
The Zoe Ball Breakfast Show.
Thank you, Tina. Oh, how's your Friday so far? Thank you so much to Stanley and Dan. What a fun hour that was. Time for Pick Your Own Playlist on The Breakfast Show. This Friday morning, it's Double Trouble. Joe and Lou, good morning to you. That's Joe and Lou from Derby. They've picked the tunes. Joe's a personal assistant to Lou, who has MS. They've become such good friends. Joe really admires Lou so much for being an absolute trooper. Joe gets to Louise's house at 9 every day, and they always get straight to it, singing their heads off to The Breakfast Show. So Joe and Lou, absolute pleasure to play your tunes for you this morning, kicking off with a little bit of Fleetwood Mac.